Imagine yourself drifting high above a long, narrow valley of green. On either side, pale deserts stretch to the horizon, quiet and empty under the soft light of dawn. Below, a single river winds its way north, like a dark blue ribbon laid carefully across the land. This is the Nile, the river that gave life to ancient Egypt and shaped its history for thousands of years. Every year, the river once rose in a gentle, predictable flood, spilling over its banks and leaving behind a layer of dark, rich mud that the Egyptians called the Black Land. Beyond this fertile strip lay the Red Land of the deserts, dry and harsh, but also a natural shield from many outside threats. From high above, the contrast is clear. A thread of life, bordered by emptiness. Along that thread, over many centuries, villages became towns, towns became cities, and a long civilization grew, guided by the rhythm of the river, the sun, and the seasons. You begin to drift slowly down toward this valley, moving not in steps, but in a calm, steady glide. The story will follow the river, and through it, the story of ancient Egypt, its farmers and pharaohs, its scribes and builders, its beliefs about gods and about life after death. As you come closer to the ground, the details of the land appear more clearly. You see fields divided by low earthen ridges, small irrigation canals carrying water from the main river, and people moving slowly among the crops. For ancient Egyptians, the year turned around the behavior of the Nile. They recognized three main seasons: the inundation, when the river flooded, the growing season, and the harvest. During the inundation, roughly in a late summer, the river spread out over the floodplain, depositing its layer of silt. Fields disappeared under shallow water, and much heavy farm work paused, giving people time for repairs, religious observances, and other tasks. When the waters receded, farmers began to work the newly moistened soil. They broke up clods with wooden tools, sometimes using cattle to pull simple plows across the mud. Women and men scattered seed from baskets, and herds of animals trod gently over the field, pressing the grain into the earth. Irrigation channels carried water to places the flood did not reach, controlled by small dikes and basins that could be opened or closed by hand. Farmers weeded the fields, protected crops from birds and small animals, and watched the slow growth of wheat, barley, flax, and vegetables in the mild winter season. When harvest time arrived, reapers cut the grain with sickles, tying stalks into bundles and stacking them to dry. The grain would then be threshed, winnowed, and measured, with a portion going to the state, temples or landlords, and the rest supporting local households. From your quiet vantage point, this work has a steady, almost meditative rhythm. Year after year, season after season, people repeated these tasks, turning the river's gift into food and food into the foundation of cities, temples, art, and administration. Villages and homes, daily life for most Egyptians. You allow your attention to settle on a single village along the riverbank. The houses here are made of sun-dried mud brick built close together to share shade and warmth. Many homes are simple, with 1 or 2 main rooms and a flat or slightly domed roof where people might sleep on hot nights. Inside, there are low platforms for sitting and sleeping, clay ovens or hearths for baking bread, and storage jars for grain, oil, and beer. Families often keep animals close by: goats, sheep, cattle, or donkeys, sometimes in a small yard, sometimes in a part of the house itself. Children move in and out of doorways, helping with simple chores, playing with small toys, and learning skills by watching parents and older siblings. Daily life centers on a few staple foods: bread made from wheat or emmer, and beer brewed from grain form the basis of most meals, accompanied by onions, leeks, beans, dates, and sometimes fish or meat when available. People wear light linen clothing appropriate to the climate. Simple kilts or skirts for many men, straight dresses for many women, often with shaved heads or close-cropped hair under wigs to help with comfort and cleanliness. Hygiene matters here. People bathe regularly in the river or with stored water, and use creams and oils to protect their skin from the dry air and sun. Toothpastes in simple cosmetics exist, combining powdered minerals, herbs, and oils into mixtures that serve both practical and aesthetic purposes. In the evenings, after work in the fields or workshops, families gather in their homes. They share food, tell stories, and sometimes enjoy music from simple harps, flutes, or hand clappers. Board games such as Sonnet provide quiet entertainment, and household shrines remind them of gods and ancestors who watch over daily life. You drift slowly above this village, noticing how ordinary tasks, baking, weaving, carrying water, repairing walls, repeat day after day. Most Egyptians will never be pharaohs or high priests, but their steady labor and routines form the base of everything else. Society and work, from pharaoh to farmers. As you float a little higher, the social structure of Egypt becomes clearer, like the layers of a gentle pyramid. At the very top is the pharaoh, regarded not just as a ruler, but as a divine or semi-divine figure responsible for maintaining order, justice, and harmony, known as Maat. Below the pharaoh stand high officials, viziers who manage administration, nobles who control estates, priests who oversee temples and rituals, and senior military leaders. These people help organize tax collection, building projects, legal disputes, and religious ceremonies. Scribes form another key layer. They learn to read and write hieroglyphs and more cursive scripts, often beginning as boys in special schools attached to temples or government offices. Their training is long and demanding, but their skills give them access to administrative and professional roles. Artisans and craftsmen, stonemasons, carpenters, metalworkers, jewelers, painters, create everything from tools and furniture to statues and decorated tomb walls. They may live in special workers' villages, such as those set up near royal tomb sites, where teams collaborate on long-term projects. Merchants sail along the Nile and travel overland, moving grain, linen, papyrus, pottery, and imported goods like cedar wood, copper, and luxury items from neighboring regions. They connect Egypt's internal economy with wider trade networks in the Eastern Mediterranean and beyond. Most people, however, remain farmers and laborers, working land that may be owned by the crown, temples, or local elites. In addition to their own fields, they can be called upon for corvée labor, helping with state projects such as digging canals or moving stone blocks during certain seasons. From your calm point of view, this complex structure looks stable and ordered. Different roles support one another. The ruler and officials provide organization, farmers supply food, scribes handle information, and artisans and priests shape the material and spiritual culture that defines Egypt. Old Kingdom, the Age of Pyramids. The scene now shifts gently in time to the period historians call the Old Kingdom, centered roughly between the late 3rd and early 2nd millennium BCE. Egypt is relatively unified under strong kings, and the royal court focuses much energy on large building projects that will leave some of the most famous monuments in the ancient world. Middle Kingdom, reunification and renewal. Time passes in your story as smoothly as turning a quiet page. After a phase of political fragmentation known as an intermediate period, Egypt reunites under new rulers, and historians later label this era the Middle Kingdom. Pharaohs such as Mentuhotep II and later rulers consolidate control, encourage irrigation works, and foster literature and art that reflect both royal ideals and more personal concerns. The tone in many sources becomes more introspective, exploring themes of justice, suffering, and the proper behavior of leaders and subjects. You imagine traveling up the Nile, seeing modest pyramids and rock-cut tombs, fortified sites along frontiers, and statues of kings with composed, thoughtful expressions. Trade and mining expeditions reach into Sinai and Nubia to obtain copper, turquoise, and other resources. In this period, more attention is paid to the well-being of regions outside the immediate royal center. Irrigation projects help stabilize agriculture, and provincial elites manage local administration within a broader national framework. From high above, Middle Kingdom Egypt looks like a network of towns, fortresses, and estates connected by the reliable path of the river. Literary texts from this time, such as tales and wisdom instructions, show a growing richness in written culture. even if many people still experience life mainly through spoken stories and local traditions. The Middle Kingdom will eventually give way to another intermediate phase, with foreign influences and new rulers entering the scene. But in the long view, it stands as a period of renewal, balance, and creative rethinking of what it meant to be an Egyptian ruler and subject. New Kingdom, temples, tombs, and an expanding world. The map of your mind's journey now shows another long chapter. The New Kingdom. When Egypt becomes a more outward-looking power, engaging heavily with neighboring regions. Pharaohs of this period oversee large armies, undertake campaigns abroad, and bring home tribute and goods that support grand building programs. You drift above Thebes in Upper Egypt, a major religious and political center during parts of this era. On the east bank of the Nile, great temple complexes such as Karnak and Luxor stand with rows of columns, obelisks, and courtyards oriented to the river and the rising sun. Inside these temples, priests perform daily rituals, washing and dressing sacred images, offering food, incense, and hymns to the gods. Festivals bring statues of deities out in processions, carried on boats or barks along the river or through temple corridors, accompanied by music and crowds of worshippers. Across the river, on the west bank, the Valley of the Kings holds the tombs of many New Kingdom pharaohs. These tombs are cut deep into rock. Their corridors and chambers decorated with scenes from sacred texts that describe the sun's nightly journey through the underworld and the hoped-for rebirth of the king. Nearby, the village of Deir el-Medina houses the workers who carve and paint these tombs. Records from this community show details of daily life, work schedules, disputes, marriages, even strikes, revealing that the people who created Egypt's most famous monuments had concerns and routines much like any others. Some pharaohs of this time become especially well known in later memory. Hatshepsut, a female ruler who emphasized trade expeditions and building. Akhenaten, who promoted a focus on the sun disk Aten and moved the court to a new city. Tutankhamun, whose relatively small tomb was later found intact. And Ramesses II, remembered for long reign and extensive monuments. From your calm perspective, these names are like gentle markers along a riverbank. The larger pattern shows an Egypt deeply engaged with its neighbors, from Nubia and the south to the Levant and beyond, while its own religious practices, artistic styles, and administrative systems continue to evolve. Gods, Ma'at, and the afterlife. Beneath all these political changes, certain ideas remain central to Egyptian thought. One is Ma'at, the principle of harmony, balance, and justice that should govern both the universe and human society. The gods are many. Each with specific roles. Ra, the sun god. Osiris, associated with the afterlife and rebirth. Isis, linked to magic and motherhood. Anubis, guardian of mummification. And Amun, prominent especially in Thebes, are only a few among dozens of important deities. The Nile's dependable flood becomes a symbol of renewal, often connected to divine action. Egyptians see the agricultural cycle, flood, growth, harvest, and the dry season as a reflection of deeper cosmic patterns, including death and rebirth in the afterlife. For many Egyptians, death is not an end, but a transition. Burial practices range from simple graves for ordinary people to elaborate tombs filled with goods, inscriptions, and protective spells. Mummification aims to preserve the body so that the soul, or its different aspects, can recognize and return to it. Texts such as the pyramid texts, coffin texts, and later collections like the so-called Book of the Dead provide guidance for navigating the challenges of the afterlife. Scenes often show the deceased's heart weighed against the feather of Ma'at, a test of moral balance and truthfulness. From your quiet vantage point, these beliefs appear as a web connecting daily actions to a larger, ordered universe. Harvests, temple rituals, legal decisions, and personal virtues all feed into a single concern: maintaining balance so that life, both here and beyond, can continue in a stable, harmonious way. The Long Shadow of Egypt and a Gentle Closing. As your journey draws toward its natural rest, you slowly rise above the Nile Valley once more. You see the green ribbon of fields, the clusters of villages, the outlines of temples, pyramids, and tombs, all set between the unchanging deserts and the patient flow of the river. Over more than 3,000 years, Egypt has moved through phases of unity and division, isolation and contact, strength and vulnerability. Foreign powers have arrived and departed. Languages and scripts have changed. And yet the memory of ancient Egypt remains vivid in monuments, texts, and the work of modern archaeologists and historians. The civilization you have drifted through tonight is not only a collection of famous names and grand buildings. It is also the quiet labor of countless farmers, the careful strokes of scribes, and the skilled hands of artisans, and the persistent faith of ordinary people who looked to the river, the sun, and the stars for guidance. As you let the images fade, the shining pyramids, the shadowed tomb passages, the busy markets, the silent statues,
the Nile becomes again a soft line of darkness in the night. The deserts on either side recede into stillness. And the whole landscape turns into a calm, distant memory. You are back now, in your own resting place, carrying only a gentle sense of the long story of ancient Egypt. A civilization shaped by a river, guided by a search for order, and remembered through the traces it left in stone, in writing, and in the sands of time. Now, take a deep breath in. Hold it. Feel the energy in the top of your head. Now hold it. And slowly and softly exhale. And go to sleep. Good night.